there, trans family, I am Mona, and in the next couple of minutes we will chat with one of the hottest names in the trans scene right now, the one and only Darren Porter. I'm still pretty excited he accepted my invitation because I remember our first conversation at Luminosity and it wasn't my greatest moment. Luckily, Darren is such a nice guy and accepted my weird idea of a photo, and that made the event a lot better for me from that point. We met again at FSOE 450 in Manchester, UK, and I couldn't lose the chance to interview him. We talked about trance, about artists, about his upcoming plans. We talked about feelings, about true trance awesomeness. So I hope you guys will enjoy this interview and get as inspired as I did just by chatting with this music man. Who is Darren Porter in real life?
Who is Darren Porter in real life? Well, I don't really take much notice of myself, so I'm actually quite a laid back kind of guy. I enjoy just the little things in life, really. I'm not a materialistic kind of person. I'm not really bothered about wanting many things. I just like to, if I get ideas and lots of inspiration. I'm very spontaneous, very spontaneous kind of person. So yeah, I'm a easy outgoing guy, I think. Yeah.
When the idea of producing music first crossed your mind?
When I was very, very young. I remember when I was at school, and our music department had a really old computer. I think it was an Atari or something. Really old, this huge, big monitor thing. And on it was a program, and in front of it was a keyboard, and I used to like play around. I couldn't play anything, but I liked the idea of being able to play. But then someone showed me that you could record what you were doing. I was like, wow, I thought I was going to play along. And I must be about 11 years old, or something, or 12 years old, really young. And I realized I enjoyed it, and as the years went on, I got like a keyboard at home, and eventually got a PC at home when they were kind of popular, and then MIDI cables, and started to really get involved with it. So it started a long time ago, and it's always been a hobby. And it's just evolved and grew into what it is now.
And my favorite question of all, actually, why did you choose trance?
I don't think I chose trance. Cliche is trance chose me. No, not really. I think in the late 90s, there was this influence of like pop music, which was rap, and like Eminem and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, that kind of thing was really popular. And everyone was like going crazy about it. And I liked it, but I didn't really get it. And then I heard some like mixtapes of some people, and I remember actually depending on the moment, I was in a car with some friends, and we pulled up some traffic lights, and the car next to us was banging out this trance. I was like, yeah, listen to this stuff, it's crazy. And then I heard it again, and I realized what it was. It was just this whole new kind of explosion of trance music. And back then, it was just starting to become kind of like a commercial or popular kind of thing, like the Ibiza Hair Days and stuff. And I got hooked. I was hooked on it. I was addicted to it, and I needed to know more and listen more, and I wanted to try and make more melodies and stuff. I was obsessed with it.
What does trance music mean to you?
To me, well, trance music is subjective to different people. Some people like the power and the energy and the feel it gives you, so they would think trance music is all about the kick of the bass.
Yeah.
For some people, trance music is a journey. It's really sort of subtle, repetitive, progressive sound which you can get took away with. Some people think it's melodies and harmonies and breakdown, energy release, this kind of thing. So subjective, but for me, it's melodies and harmonies, and that kind of how music and textures and sound effects all blend together into what you perceive as trance. For me, anyway, coupled with a nice good driving bass.
What's your biggest accomplishment till now?
Till now, to be honest, when you start, you don't really have a definitive start point. You kind of just realize you're doing this, and you always set yourself little goals, and they are little goals. You set yourself too high, you set yourself up for just disappointment pretty quickly. So my first few goals were get a track signed, get a track supported by your favorite artist, get a gig, get yourself on a radio show. These were all little goals. So these were big accomplishments for me, and you keep setting these little goals. So I've had many big accomplishments, and it's unfair to kind of pick one out over the others, because at the time, I always wanted to have like ASO support. My track and play by Armin was amazing, and I never thought it would happen. When it did, I remember how happy and elated I was. So that was a huge accomplishment. So as every year goes on, the accomplishments, I set a goal and I tick this off. Like for example, my first #1 track, that was just amazing for me. Really gobsmacked and humbled by it. So that was equally as good to get the first ASO. Same sensation. So it's hard to kind of define what my major accomplishment was, and hopefully there's many more to
which single track had the biggest impact on your career?
A track of mine?
Yeah.
I think the ball started to roll pretty quickly after the era went and Spellbound and Terraforming, I think. But if you ask me when things really started to hit home was actually pretty recently, when Deep Blue done as well as it did, and that's made me feel a lot more pressured. Because once you have this kind of response to a track, which I didn't expect, and I'm very happy with, and with it hitting number one also, it was the first number one I had. The pressure hits you, and you have to kind of think, wow, I need to do something again. So that's definitely had an impact on my career and made me think differently in how I'm going to do it next. And yeah, so all started rolling around about Terraforming.
How do you find inspiration for your track? What exactly influences you as an artist?
It's not just one thing. It's everything. It's no secret that I absolutely love film music. Again, it's the same recipe. It's what sound effects and textures and basically your music's dictating your emotion while watching the movie. So the inspiration behind how music and movie do this, I want to be able to put this into trance music, so I get inspiration from many different ideas. Even sound effects in movies, I can think, how can I change this into something really cool, and how it can have big contrast between sounds and textures and different sort of genres all blended together. So inspiration comes from anywhere, and you don't expect it. You just get an idea. Oh, that's an awesome idea. I'll try this, and you do it. So yeah, definitely try different genres of music. You'll pick something out, and you're gonna try and figure out why you like it.
Okay. You're releasing awesome track after awesome track, but what about an album? Did you ever thought of that?
Yes and no.
Okay. Why yes and why no?
Okay, yes and no. Well, I have been posting over the last few years little small 2 or 3 minute clips of the cinematic stuff. I like to break away from the trance tracks and the kicks and the basses, and really spread my wings with some really ambient, chill out music. So I collected quite a few, 20, maybe 30 even, little small pieces of this. And I think I've realised that I get a lot of questions, a lot of emails, not just about my trance music, but also about the cinema stuff. And a lot of people like to listen to it, and I'm very happy with this. So I think I've decided I'm going to put this together as a kind of like a legacy collection of the cinematic stuff. So it's not trance music, but do you want to call it an album? It's not really an album, it's more of a collection of what I'm doing. So I think I'm gonna be putting that out pretty soon, just for just the amount of requests I've had for it. But the idea of an album, yes, I've thought about it, but I haven't kind of decided I'm going to do one just yet. But I think it's in the future.
But what can you tell me about the remix you did for Anahera? Because we really loved it at Luminosity.
Thank you. Well, everyone loves that melody. There's no question why that was track of the year last year. No question. Beautiful melody, harmonies. It's in a major key. It's uplifting. It's amazing. It's just got everything that trance to me is about. That's exactly what that is. And Perry Corson did it in a way. Goriella did it in a way which was kind of up to date, and we kept the original sound of Goriella. But for me, I wanted to just give it a little bit more of an injection of what I prefer, what I like to do.
Yeah.
So I didn't do a remix as in I want to remix in a way, here's a different version of it. I purely done it just for myself, just to do it in my own set so it would work better with my own sets. And I played it at Luminosity, and the reaction was, wow, really good. And I get many questions, and I'm sorry if I can't give it away, but I can't. It's not an official remix or anything.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about.
No, it's just a rework for myself and my sets, and a few people have getting their hands on it. But yeah, I'm very happy with the response, and I'm really happy that people enjoyed it. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a new flavour.
What about Human, your latest track?
Human is something where, I don't know if you noticed, but my last few tracks, they're kind of, people will say the same, but it's kind of a signature sound that I have. And I wanted to kind of have a trifecta of the signature sound on my debut releases with FSOE. And I wanted to do a kind of a melody or a riff that you could easily hum, easily remember, not based on arps and melodies and loads of like the traditional kind of trance. So I wanted a riff or a melody that you could easily sort of resonate with. Make you feel a bit more human, a bit more whistle, a bit more natural. So I promised myself, because some people have told me, some people recommended to me, don't overthink your melodies. Just push record and just play something.
Okay.
And I did, and I swear down that human was literally, I pushed record and I just recorded in my head and I just played this melody. And in the first take, I did not change a single note. And that's
Really?
exactly how it is. And I made it, I've done this on purpose. And the result is that, is this track.
In new projects coming up?
As ever, many. Well, I've started like many. Everyone started many, but you don't finish them. So, but yeah, I've got a few things lined up and a few
Any
collaborations.
projects you can tell us about it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Fine. What can I tell us about your work with Shantias? You did some sound banks for Freshly Spaced and the Relentless track.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that? About
Okay.
this collaboration between both?
I've been friends with Sean for many years, and I helped on the Titanium label when he had this running, and we just built this working relationship, which turned into a good friendship. And we would Skype regularly, talking about like patches and how to do this and how to do that, and giving each other ideas for sound design. And then we just realized when we looked into I've got like a folder, and it's actually my folder called Sean's shit. So Sean, you give me so much shit, I have a folder for you. In this folder, there's like so many patches, and we realized we have a lot of patches here.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a sound bank? So we did a sound bank, and then it got really popular. And we did a second one for another synth, and then we did a volume 2. And as a matter of fact, there's literally a brand new one almost ready to hit the shelves from Sean and myself. And out of this, we end up just kind of throwing ideas off each other, and a collaboration was born. But we didn't plan on a collaboration.
No.
It just kind of happened, and it took a long time to do. It took a long time. It was just kind of on the side. It wasn't okay. I want to work with you next. But we just kind of on the side ended up doing Relentless, and I think we're going to work on another one. Like we're going to plan to work on another one very soon.
Who are the best trance producers at the moment, in your personal opinion?
Well, this is a very difficult and unfair question, I think. But if you ask me who I can't really say favorite, because I respect all producers. I don't care if their sound is not as good as the top guys, and it's not polished enough, and they haven't got their full understanding. But when I see a producer who is doing a track from here maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and then 6 months later it's a little bit better, and they're improving,
Yeah.
they get my respect for this. They're working on it, and they're trying. So this becomes my favorite guy. I like what you're doing. You get my respect. It doesn't have to be the most polished, the most technically brilliant tracks for this, but there are quite a few people out there who are coming up very fast, and I'll have to think of some names. I don't want to single anyone out, but I think you know yourself. If what I've just said kind of resonates with you, that you are improving and you can hear yourself you're improving, keep doing it, because you will probably be on my list.
So my next question about the upcoming talents you know and support in your Cause and Effect show. Can you name someone, or those people who are improving?
There was a few people over the last year or so. The likes of Steve Decay. He's doing pretty well. I like what he's doing. And Stooney, Georgia Stooney.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's very quiet in the industry. He's not as active on social media, and I love that, because he is just doing what he wants to do, and when we hear it, I love it. But then some new guys who just come out of nowhere, and I'm playing their stuff constantly, even in my sets, and like Redrive.
Yeah.
Very relatively unknown names, but I think they're going to have very big futures. And it's not just the uplifting stuff either. Micah Kilios, these kind of people.
How do you actually react to the question, help me become a better producer? How do you react to these tips and tricks?
Well,
questions?
it's kind of humbling to be asked, because I was one of those guys asking for help. Absolutely.
Okay.
6-7 years ago, maybe, my productions were barely audible, let alone signable or supportable, whatever word you want to use. And I would scour the internet looking for tools to help me, and trying to watch YouTube videos and read tutorials and read people's feedback and try everything, and you're just crying for help. But then you would message someone who you admire and aspire to, and you get a kind of a short answer. And I didn't really kind of react to this in a negative way. Obviously, people are busy, I understand this. And yes, I do get quite a lot of questions about how do you do this, how can you do that, can you listen to this, give me feedback on this.
Yeah.
And if I have time to do it, I will. But I don't like to tell anybody you're doing anything wrong, because they're not doing anything wrong.
So What's the simplest advice you can give to someone fresh in this industry?
Don't try to be someone else. Simple as that. Just do what you're doing, and if you think it's not good enough yet, it probably isn't.
With which artist would you like to swap places for one day if you could? Not just trance, any artist.
Well, I'm going to say one everybody's probably expecting, but it's a film composer guy. Yeah, it is Hans Zimmer. I want to experience the workload, the pressure. I want to experience if I am capable of handling that kind of creativity and workload on demand in such a high-profile situation. The pressure. I'm curious if I'm even anywhere near able of doing this, and yeah, I would love to experience this.
And I'll ask you to give me this in writing, top 10 biggest trance tracks ever, but you can give me the first trance track ever. Number
You know,
it's difficult.
The one I'll give you is the one that I took notice of, the one that was most important, sort of thing. Not the most important, but the one I kind of went, wow, what is this?
Oh yeah.
And it was the Goriella remix of Final Finale 19. This was the sounds used in that were just like crazy good, and I opened up a door into a world of music I was not aware of, and I wanted this. Obviously we'd heard previously like Robert Miles' Children, 1994 I think it was, 93.
Yeah.
They're about then. I was very young.
Two.
Was it 92? Shit.
Yeah.
But wow, okay, so that early on I was very, very, very young, but there was something about it I really got. So these, it's in my favorite tracks, but the more influential tracks for me. So there's number one, but I'll try and make a list for you.
What do you think about the trance community?
Well, there's no trance community, there is no industry, and I wouldn't be sitting here being interviewed by you. So the trance community, we were all a part of the trance community at the beginning. Yeah. Everyone started there, and it's really interesting to see what it was like when I was just going to the parties and driving 10 hours across Europe just to go to a gig, and flying all over the place just to go and listen to some music and watch your favorite DJ play. And this is the essence of what the community is. That's what I love about it. The word trans family, people might say it's a cliche, hashtag trans family and stuff like that, but it genuinely, that's what it is. It is a family. I go to these gigs and I see the same faces, I see the same people from different countries, and we meet at the hotels and everyone has dinners and drinks together. Even last night everybody had a pre-meeting and everybody come from all over the world, and it's amazing. You don't have this kind of friendship in any other situation I'm aware of in my life, to be honest, and this is the true meaning of the word community. So I find the trans community amazing. I love it.
Off-topic question, but everyone has a hidden talent. What's yours? I asked other trans.
I can do magic.
Can you show us a trick?
Not really. I don't really have anything with me. But yeah, if I knew, no. I can do. I can't do magic. I'm not like. I can do like little kids magic tricks and stuff like that, and make it just really hard tricks. I like doing this.
Do you have a message for our viewers?
Yes. I would like to thank every single one of you for helping me get where I wanted to be. And if it wasn't for you guys supporting me, tagging me, playing my music, voting for me, I wouldn't be doing what I've always wanted to do for a living. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. I'll post Darren's top 10 trance tracks in the description below. Please follow him and Trancers.ro on social media. Also, I will post those links in the description. Until next time, don't forget to support your favorite artists because they do deserve all the support in the world. And keep listening to this awesome music. Bye!